Hello class 9th, I am Ashok, your English teacher, present with a new video for you. Today I will discuss the third chapter of the book Beehive. The name of the chapter is The Little Girl and it is written by Catherine Mansfield. This video is being made as part 1 as it is not possible for me to cover up the whole lesson in one session only. So let us start with the introduction of the lesson. The title of the story refers to the main character that we will come across, the little girl named Kezia. So this story is about a little girl, Kezia. The theme of the story is the relationship between children and their parents, and the writer Catherine Mansfield wants to tell us that children share a very important bond of love with their parents. Although when children are small, when they are young, they do not feel that their parents love them because their parents are strict and many actions of the parents seems unjustified. So this happens with all of us. We feel in the same way as Kezia feel. So this is the story about the little girl who feels fear towards her father. But as children grow up, they realize that all the acts done by their parents were beneficial for them, the parents were concerned for them, and beneath the strictness lies a heart full of love for the children. And this bond of love between parents and their children has been highlighted through this story. So, the bond of love between parents and children is highlighted through this story. Now, let us see what's there in the text. The Little Girl, this is the title, and it is very much clear that this story is about the little girl whose name is Kezia. Before you read, column is there, and a certain question is asked here by the writer from you. Do you feel you know your parents better now than when you were much younger? Perhaps you now understand the reasons for some of these actions that used to upset you earlier. So, when we are small, we do not know why our parents are being strict with us, but as we grow older, we become mature and we realize why they were being strict with us. And when we realize that thing, we also realize that our parents love us. This story about a little girl whose feelings for her father change from fear to understanding will probably find an echo in every home. Now, what do we mean by will probably find an echo in every home? This means that all the children will feel the same way. So you all can relate to the feeling of little girl Kezia, just like Kezia is full of fear towards her father, and later on she understands his behavior and feels that he was concerned and he loved her. All the children also have the same feeling towards their parents. Now let us see what is there in the text. To the little girl, he was a figure to be feared and avoided. Every morning before going to work, he came into her room and gave her a casual kiss, to which she responded with "Goodbye, father." And oh, there was a glad sense of relief when she heard the noise of the carriage growing fainter and fainter down the long road. A figure to be feared means a person to be feared. Who is the figure to be feared here? Kezia's father. So he refers to Kezia's father, and the little girl is Kezia. So the opening line of the story is indicating the fear that Kezia has for her father. And as she is fearful of her father, she tries to avoid him and she tries to remain away from him. Every morning before going to work, Kezia's father would visit her in her room and give her a casual kiss. And in reply, Kezia would say, "Goodbye, father." So this section of Kezia's father shows his love for Kezia. Carriages like horse carts were means of conveyance used in olden times. So here we can make out the fear that Kezia has for her father. The writer says that when Kezia heard that her father's carriage was going away from home and he was leaving home and the sound became fainter and fainter, that means that sound reduced. Kezia would have a sense of relaxation at that time. She would feel relieved that her father had left. Now, why did she feel relieved? Because she feared her father. She was afraid of him, and so she was relieved when he left home. So this was there in this part of the story. Now let us see the next part. In the evening when he came home, she stood near the staircase and heard his loud voice in the hall. Bring my tea into the drawing room. Hasn't the paper come yet? Mother, go and see if my paper's out there, and bring my slippers. Kezia, mother would call to her, if you are a good girl, you can come down and take off father's boot. Slowly, the girl would slip down the stairs, more slowly, still across the hall, and push open the drawing room door. Sorry. By that time, by that time, he had his spectacles on and looked at her over them in a way that was terrifying to the little girl. Well, Kezia, hurry up and pull off these boots and take them outside. Have you been a good girl today? I don't know, father. So, in this part of the text, we read that in the evenings when Kezia's father would return home, she would fear his loud voice, and this loud voice again made her afraid of him. So, as Kezia's father returned home, he would start ordering all different things. He would order that TV served to him in the drawing room. He wanted the newspaper. He would ask his mother to go and see if the newspaper was there outside the house, and he would ask her to get him his slipper also. Keza's mother would call out to her and ask her to remove her father's boot in order to make her obey. She would say that if she was a good girl, then surely she would obey her command. So again, we see Keja's fear for her father. That is why she would come down the stairs quietly and unwillingly. Unwillingly, because she did not want to face her father. She feared him. Now just imagine Keja's father sitting in the drawing room on a sofa wearing his spectacles, and he is looking at Kezia over the spectacles, and now the way he took at look at her terrified her. She was horrified because maybe it seemed to her that he was staring at her. Kezia was reluctant in her work. She was slow in her motion, and so her father would tell her to hurry up and remove his boots and keep them out of the room. And then he would ask her if she had been a good girl that day, and Kezia replied that she did not know. So, why was she stammering? Because she was not confident here. A person is not confident when he has any feeling of fear. And now let us read the next part of the story and discuss. You don't know, if you stutter like that, mother will have to take you to the doctor. She never stuttered with other people, had quite given it up, what only with father, because then she was terrifying, trying so hard to say the words properly. What's the matter? What are you looking so rested about? Mother, I wish you taught this child not to appear on the brink of suicide. Here, Kezia carry my teacup back to the table carefully. He was so big, his hands and his neck, especially his mouth when he yawned. Thinking about him alone was like thinking about a giant. So certain words are there which are difficult for you, I think. Stutter means to stammer or to speak with pauses. Given it up. Stop doing it. Trying so hard means making a lot of efforts. Rest means unhappy or sad. On the brink of suicide means about to commit suicide. Suicide means kill oneself. So these are some of the words which might be difficult for you. Now let us see what was there in this part of the text. So here Kezia's father is copying her, and he also stammers like she did. He says to her that if she stuttered like that, then her mother would have to take her to the doctor for a checkup. So here the writer tells us that Kezia never stammered while she spoke to others people. It was only when she talked to her father and she lacked confidence, and that is why she tried very hard to speak properly and she stammered. Now Kezia father looks at her. He feels that something is wrong with her and he asks her why she is so unhappy. And then he tells the mother that she should teach Kezia to behave in a better way and she should not appear as if she is so unhappy that she is about to end her life. So he wants to say that Kezia seems to be so unhappy with her life that she did not want to live any longer. Her hands, um, her his teacup and ask her to place it back on the table. Here, this is the feeling, this is the vision that Kezia has for her father. She feels that her father was so weak, he was just like a giant, and the writer says that Kezia felt that his hand and his neck and his mouth were all so huge, especially when he yawned. It seemed as if he was a huge monster, and whenever Kezia thought about her father, she felt that she was thinking about a giant. So, this was there in this part of the text. Now, let us see the next part of the text. On Sunday afternoon, grandmother sent her down to the drawing room to have a nice talk with father and mother. But the little girl always found mother reading and father stretched out on the sofa, his handkerchief on his face, his feet on one of the vest cushions, sleeping soundly and snoring. So here we feel that every Sunday during the afternoon, Kezia's grandmother sent her downstairs to the drawing room in order to spend time with her parents. So Kezia was supposed to behave in a nice and decent way in front of her parents, and they had a formal get together. So when Kezia used to go there, she felt a bit neglected. Every Sunday afternoon, when she went to her parents to meet them in the drawing room and have a nice talk with them, they were busy doing their own things. Her mother was busy reading, and her father was busy sleeping and snoring. So Kezia had this image of her parents in her mind. They did not talk with her, they didn't spend time with her. On the other hand, they were busy doing their own things. So you can see also in the picture, mother is reading, her father is sleeping, and she is standing there, and she couldn't talk to them in that kind of atmosphere. She sat on a stool gravely, watched him until he woke and stretched and asked the time, then looked at her. Don't stare so, Kezia. You look like a little brown owl. One day, when she was kept indoors with a cold, her grandmother told her that father's birthday was next week and suggested she should make him a pin cushion for a gift out of a beautiful piece of yellow silk. Gravely means seriously. So, all the while Kezia's father was asleep, she would just sit on a stool and watch him carefully till the time he would wake up and stretch his body, and then would ask the time and look at her. Kezia's father would compare Kezia to a little brown owl. He would say that Kezia was staring at him just like an owl does. Now, Kezia was not well. She had a cold, so she was supposed to stay at home. So, her grandmother suggested that as she was at home and her father's birthday was approaching, she should make a birthday gift for him. She asked Kezia to make a pin cushion for him, and she also gave her a yellow colored fabric of silk to make the cushion. Laboriously, With a double cotton, the little girl stitched three sides. What to fill it with? That was the question. The grandmother was out in the garden and she wandered into mother's bedroom to look for scraps. On the wet table, she discovered a great many sheets of fine paper, gathered them up, tore them into tiny pieces, and stuffed her case, then sewed up the fourth side. That might there was a hue and cry in the house. Father's great speech for the Port Authority had been lost. Rooms were searched, servants questioned. Finally, mother came into Kezia's room. Kezia, I suppose you didn't see some papers on a table in our room. Oh, yes, she said. I tore them up for my surprise. What? Screamed mother. Come straight down to the dining room this instant. So some words are there. Laboriously means with a lot of effort or difficulty. Wandered means went into by chance. Scraps, small pieces of cloth or paper, etc. that are not needed. Hue and cry means angry protest. So these are some of the words which might be difficult for you. Now let us see what was there in this part of the text. Now Kezia had prepared the bag. The bag shape of the cushion. She had to stitch the fourth side, and before that she had to fill the cushion with something, and she did not know what to fill the cushion with. So Kezia was confused that what should she use to fill the cushion with. As her grandmother was out in the garden and she was just looking for something, she reached her mother's bedroom. She was looking for bits of paper or cloth to stuff into the cushion. Now Kezia is a small little girl. She is very young. Now what she do? On the bed table she found a heap of sheet of paper. So she just gathered all the sheets, then tore them and stuffed those pieces of paper into the cushion. And then she stitched the fourth side of the cushion, and she had prepared a birthday gift for her father. Many children do such things unknowingly. They do not intend to create any mischief or harm anyone, but they end up doing it. Now, Kezia has torn some important papers. Now, there was a lot of shouting in the house because Kezia's father had prepared a speech for the Port Authority for a particular meeting, and he was unable to find it. Now, we all know where the speech has gone. It has been torn into tiny pieces, and Kezia has stuffed it into the cushion. Now the family searched everywhere. They asked the servants, but no one knew where the sheets of paper had gone. And finally, the mother reached the Kezia's room. Now here we get to see that Kezia is as innocent as a lamb. She did not intend to harm anyone. She was just preparing her birthday gift. So very truly, she tells her mother that she found some pieces of paper, and as she needed them to stuff into the cushion, so she torn them and prepared her surprise gift. That is a birthday gift that she had prepared for her father. Unknowingly, Kezia had done a great disaster. Now, Kezia's mother is so furious when she comes to know that Kezia has torn the speech that her father is looking for. And so she orders Kezia to come down into the dining room at that very moment. So this was there in this part of the text. These were the difficult words meaning which I already told you, but you will note them down in your notebooks. And this is homework for today. Summarize the discussed part of the text, not on the words meaning. And that's all for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.